Well, it's a good afternoon for our basketball team. Anytime you play an in-state team, it makes the game a little bit more special. You know, we didn't do a terrific job last week against Indiana State, so it was kind of nice to see us return back to. First of all, go on the road and get a win, and then return back to Assembly Hall. We felt awfully bad for our fans. Because quite frankly, and Indiana State's a good basketball team, but after looking back and watching a lot of film, we simply beat ourselves. And today we were not going to allow that to happen. I thought we had two subpar days of practice, which was a little concerning to me. But I thought we had a great shoot-around this morning. We went a little bit longer than we typically go, and I thought their focus was where it needed to be. Laren continues to show tremendous amount of leadership for us. At the Boston College game, we were in the similar situation that we were in with Indiana State, up 13 with about 5 to go, and she showed a tremendous amount of poise and leadership. Did not allow her team to get rattled, and we got out of there with a really great win, road win. And so this afternoon, I'm just pleased with the way we had balanced scoring. Obviously, we kept our turnovers low. Shot 86% from the free throw line. I'd like to get there more than 15 times. Obviously, the biggest statistic today that we circle is the 18 offensive rebounds that we gave up. And as we explained in timeouts, and I really believe this, that's not really a skill. That's heart and determination. You just want the ball more than the team that you're or the player that you're either guarding or going up against. And so we've got to get that fixed. We need to be more aggressive and get ourselves to the offensive boards more. I think we do a lot of watching. We watch Laren, we watch Ty go make a play, and that's what we're guilty of, and we've got to fix that. And so this afternoon, if there's one area that I'm not real pleased about, would be the offensive rebounds that we gave up. But at the end of the day, I thought changing defenses really stifled them and rattled them, and we needed to do that in the first half. And that's giving your kids credit for being able to change the game plan, do something different than we had been doing, and for them to execute the game plan was really good to see.
Talk about Laren showing leadership. Was that something that just naturally developed, or did you talk to her about that?
One of the things that I appreciate about Laren is that she wants to lead this team. She and I have had several conversations in which I love the banter that an old point guard and a recent point guard can have about the game and how it should be played and decisions and time and score situations. She and I have had several conversations like that, and I hope that they continue because I think it's good for both of us. But what I'm most pleased and most proud of is that she's taking our conversations and a little bit of my advice and some of her own playmaking ability, skills, knowing of the game, understanding of the game, and she's really trying to lead this basketball team. There was no doubt we went down the stretch there in BC that she was not going to be denied. She was not going to let us walk out of there without winning that basketball game. And I think that we'll just continue to see her develop, not just as a basketball player. She's a terrific basketball player, but I'm more interested in watching her become a tremendous leader.
It was a close game in the first half, and you guys went on a late run to end the half and never gave it up. What was the big change that kind of led you to
Well, we went to our zone. I think that really, we weren't doing a terrific job rebounding. You saw them, they were really taking advantage of going inside. We had difficulty stopping high percentage shots. They were getting several of those on the low block. And we thought about that. We talked about that this morning at our shoot around, that we wanted to probably go zone a little bit earlier. We didn't want to get in a situation where our backs were against the wall and we had to go zone to see what it was going to look like. We wanted to go to it early, and it just so happened when we went to it, it was really good to us, and we were able to rebound the ball. And I think it changed the tempo, the pace of the game. It changed some of their, looks that they would normally get in their man-to-man sets. I don't think they were getting as wide open as they were in some of their man sets. But I also think that they looked a little, like they said, they sputtered a little bit. They were a little bit more, just uncertain, it looked like. Again, give our kids credit for being able to just execute and be able to get stops when we had to. And I think it helped us rebounding-wise also.
Tyra only played 7 minutes in the first half. Was that just a result of a couple guards playing well off the bench for you guys?
No, that's foul trouble. Anytime you get in 2 fouls, most of the time, I got to be able to say every time. But our rules in our program is anytime you pick up 2 fouls, first half you're going to sit. And that's just to protect her. Sometimes we've been in situations where kids have gotten 2 fouls and we've left them in 1 or 2 possessions, and we've been stung by that, and they pick up their third, and then so they go into the second half, in foul trouble. And so that's just our rule.
Jess seemed to have a few really nice passes in there. What do you see from her?
I thought Jess was great today. Gave us great energy off the bench. The thing that I've said about Jess from day one is just she just has a pace and tempo. She plays every possession like it's her last one, and that's what I appreciate. That's what her teammates appreciate about her. And she really she takes advantage. And when her number's called, she's ready. And so she hasn't gotten the minutes that any of us, our staff, would like to see her get, just because of how deep we are in the guard spot. But give her credit for one, staying consistent, staying confident. And like I said, just taking advantage. When her number was called today, she came in and she gave us a great lift off the bench. She's a tremendous athlete. She's really good. We go a little bit smaller, which is not ideal. But, when you have Lex at the 4, Cahill at the 5, Jess at the 3, and then Taylor, Ty, Laren, you're pretty athletic. So it helps on the defensive end. It makes us a little bit smaller than we'd like to be, but we really feel like Lex can rebound the ball for us. And then you got Jess, who, again, gives us just a different dimension offensively in terms of how hard she goes off of ball screens, in transition, whether it's in our other continuity offense that we run. I just love her tempo. I do. I love how she approaches the game and how she plays it.
Amanda Cahill had 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals. She seemed to really be involved in every aspect of the game. Could you kind of talk a little bit about what she brings to the team?
Well, and I don't know, is this your first time to see us play? That's what she does. That's her consistency that she's shown in the first, 8 ball games. Even against Indiana State, she was the bright spot. She played really well, and the pieces around her didn't. She's, and I sound like a broken record, she's going to continue to get better, and she's going to continue to be consistent. That's who she is. That's what she does. She's no longer a highlight for us. That's what we expect from her, and that's what she expects from herself. Like I said, for a freshman to be as consistent as she's been, that's a special player.
When we talk about there was a couple down days of practice when you came in, just
Right.
what you did. I mean, how much of a lift is this?
Well, that's a smart basketball group, in that locker room right now. And they know that they were subpar at best. Matter of fact, I ended practice yesterday early because we weren't being productive. It was, And I think, again, I go back to Laren. I think she senses that, and I think she knows that. And I think when we walked in here this morning for our 9 o'clock shoot-around, that she had them ready to go to work. And she, whatever she did between the time we were in shoot-around to game time, she got them where they needed to be as far as their mindset, their mentality. We knew going into this game we couldn't match the intensity and toughness. We had to exceed it. That starts with your leader. And she's continued, and we're going to continue to lean on her. With that, and making sure that, and Taylor, I think Taylor has shown some great leadership abilities and on the floor as well. Those two kids in particular, when they speak, the group around them listens. And so they need to continue to, show the leadership that they've shown. But I've been really pleased with Laren. I really have been. She is, as you guys know, a special player, a special point guard. But I just love how consistent she's been off the floor.
Obviously, rebounding, especially defensively, was a pretty big issue today, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
But many times you've had them down to 3 or 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Were you still pretty happy with the defensive?
No, I wasn't. Because what we tell our kids is you work hard for 30 seconds, you work hard for 26 seconds, and you talk and you're where you need to be, and then you find a way to miss a checkout. That can't happen. You don't win very many games. When you look at this stat, you don't win very many games when you get out rebounded. It doesn't happen. And we're lucky that we took care of the ball. We're lucky that we shot high percentage from the three-point line today. We got to the three-point line. We got to the free throw line. And then when going down the stretch there, when we had to come up with big stops, defensive stops, we got them. But there were more than one occasion I turned and looked at our staff and said, we're lucky, we're lucky, we're lucky. And you don't, sometimes it takes a little bit of luck, to win championships and win games, but you can't rely on luck. And we got to make sure that, we do as a staff are doing a better job of helping them in that area. And again, it's not a skill. It is a skill, but it's not a skill because it's really about determination and heart and hustle and how big your heart is. It's not, how quick you move and how quickly you can get your hands up. And it's about contact box out, finding the person that you have responsibilities to keep off the glass. But as someone said this, and this is so true, it's hard. It's hard. It's easy to go down and come off the ball screens and post up and get run-outs. What is hard is defending and getting a contact box out. That's hard work. And, that's one of the things that we'll continue to hammer home to our kids. As we get into Big Ten season, every game's going to be difficult. Every game's going to be hard. And there's going to be games that we win just because we outwork, we're tougher, we have a mentality of a blue-collar team that understands the importance of, one, every possession and how every possession matters. We got to do more. And we got to be better at keeping people from getting second and keeping teams from getting second and third opportunities. But on the flip side of that, I'd like us to get better and get some second, third shots ourselves.